Thanks to CharityStars for sponsoring today's video. This is my wife's brand new 2022 Tesla Model Y. We've had it for like a week and there are already problems, some minor, some very minor, and some more major. So this is one of the hopefully final Model Ys that are produced and manufactured in California at the Fremont factory. Hopefully here soon, most, if not all, the Model Ys will be made at the new Tesla Gigafactory in Austin, Texas, which hopefully will have a more refined process and hopefully spit out better produced cars with higher quality control. Some problems that probably should never be a problem on a brand new $60,000 car are still problems on some of these cars. So I'm gonna go from the very minor to the bigger problems. The first problem is not really a problem, just caught me off guard. There is no tray in the center console, and I did not know that. Apparently they stopped including the tray in the Tesla Model Y and Model 3 in 2020, like 2 years ago. When I got my Model 3, it had a tray included in the center console, and that tray is awesome. It's very useful. I put all my daily items in there that I use on a daily basis, and it's just very helpful that it sits right there, and then I can pull it out and store more things underneath, so it's just like an additional shelf of storage, and I loved it. And when I opened this up, I was like surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, they forgot to put the tray in. I know Tesla's trying to cut costs and everything, but wow, like that is a very inexpensive piece of equipment. But apparently they do not include the trays anymore. You have to order them separately, which is interesting. Another minor thing that may not even be something wrong with it, may just be a normal operation of the Model Y, but it doesn't happen on my Model 3, and it stood out to me as soon as it happened, is when I turn on the windshield wipers, when they're engaged, when they're set to any setting and active, this wiper on the passenger side sticks up right here above the windshield, so you can actually see it. It stays right there, and then whenever the windshield wipers are disengaged, it goes back down into its place here. I'm assuming that's a normal operation of the Model Y, but it just was really weird and strange because the Model 3 doesn't do that, and it's kind of slightly annoying the way it protrudes out onto the windshield and it's visible. I can see it. Very, very minor, and again, it's probably not even an issue. It's probably normal. It's just weird that they did that on the Model Y and not the Model 3. Another minor thing that I noticed, and it since has been kind of resolved on its own, but when I first got the car and I adjusted the steering wheel back and forth, it was making a very annoying sound. Now that I have been adjusting it, you know, if I switch driver profiles, for example, okay, it still does it. It didn't do it the other day, but now it's doing it. It's got this weird squeak to it whenever the steering wheel adjusts. Here, let's do it again. Okay, so it wasn't as bad that time. So apparently it's only like when the steering wheel goes in. Let's see if it does it. Ooh. So it's not a huge deal. I probably won't even put a service request ticket in for it, but still, that should be quieter than that. Maybe it'll work itself out over time. Now the service centers do wash the cars before you get them. So my car was really clean other than the driver window. There is gunk on the inside of this window. It's black, sticky. It looks like something, I don't know if it doesn't look like sticker residue because it is in different places, like 4 different places on my window here. If it's not a huge deal, I can clean it, but still, like, you know, this was a new car, and having this black, you know, dark, sticky gunk on my window, driver door window, was not a very fun thing to see, and easily solved. It's not like a operational issue, but still, you know, I would like to have a clean window, especially on the inside. Also, another interior problem that I saw, the upholstery on the very top, there is a piece that looks like it's kind of loose, like the fabric, and it's visible from when I look back there from my seat right here. I can see it. It's not a huge deal. Again, minor thing, but still, it just looks cheap and just looks like it wasn't done all the way. On this side, it's fine. Most people probably won't even notice it, but I know it's there, so it's a little bothering. Another problem on the interior is that my screen has a constant alert icon, the red icon on the alert, and it says reinsert USB into glove box for higher speed. So Tesla does include a USB drive for Sentry Mode and dash cam, and mine was included, and I have followed the directions. I have unplugged the USB, I've plugged it back in multiple times, and it still gives this error: reinsert USB in the glove box for higher speed. So I don't know if that's a normal common issue with the USB drives that Tesla includes, but SSD drives do work better than normal USB flash drives for dashcam Sentry mode. So I was probably going to end up upgrading that anyway, but still, I would hate that the alert doesn't go away. It's just constantly there. If you want to experience what it's like to get a brand new Tesla in 2022, I've partnered with CharityStars to give you a chance to win a Tesla Model S Plaid. CharityStars is a groundbreaking fundraising platform that helps raise money for charitable causes while giving away some amazing prizes. And for this sweepstakes, the prize is the world's fastest accelerating production vehicle, a Tesla Model S Plaid. Now, with over 1,000 horsepower, this car can reach 0 to 60 miles an hour in under 2 seconds and has a top speed of 200 miles an hour. I actually spent a week with this car last year, and calling it fast is an understatement. To produce that much power, the Plaid Model S is the first of its kind with a tri-motor setup. It also comes with interior upgrades, 390 miles of range, a 22-speaker noise-canceling audio system, and a generous amount of cargo space. Donations will benefit One Tree Planted, whose goal is to make it simple for anyone to help the environment by planting trees. They believe that together we can restore forests, create habitat for biodiversity, and make a positive social impact around the world. They plant one tree with every dollar donated. To enter for a chance to win a Tesla Model S Plaid and help support a great cause, visit CharityStars.com/Andy and use coupon code Andy at checkout to get 1,000 free entries on your purchase. And don't wait, because this ends on July 19th. That's CharityStars.com/ANDY to get 1,000 free entries at checkout. Another weird minor thing that happened during delivery was that this little plastic stopper got stuck to this rubber stopper because they meet whenever it's closed. I guess it was a little too hot that day, even though it was only like in the 70s or 80s. This little plastic stopper got stuck to the rubber stopper, and you actually see it in my delivery day video. This piece is just missing because it's just stuck up there. And when I took it home that evening, I opened up the hatchback and this little piece just fell off to the ground. And I was like, what does this go to? I didn't even know where it went to. And it took me a while. I was like, realized that it went to here, put it back on there, and it came off again the second time. But then I popped it back on there again, and you can still, it's still a little loose. It's just funny to me that like a brand new $60,000 Tesla was having little parts fall off. One of the bigger problems that was probably the first thing I noticed right off the bat, even during delivery, was the automatic seat folding buttons here in the back didn't work at all. It wasn't even making a sound. A Tesla mobile technician came to my location within a couple days after taking delivery and fixed it within 5 minutes. So basically the power just wasn't plugged in, or it wasn't fully connected. So all it took was 5 minutes to go in there, connect it fully, and it's working. It was working fine. Luckily that the mobile technician was able to come to my location. I couldn't imagine driving to a service center like an hour away and just having them fix it within 5 minutes, because that should have been working right off the bat. Quite possibly the most annoying issue that I had, and it was noticeable right off the bat. My wife noticed it. She's the one who told me, because she's the one who drove it for the first time. It's a high-pitched whining noise coming from the rear motor. It is abnormally loud. I've driven other Model Ys and Model 3s, and I've never noticed this type of sound. Of course, they all have that sound of the motor like whirring up, and when you're accelerating and stuff like that. And but this is just a different high-pitched sound. And I actually had the mobile technician, when he came out and fixed my seat folding buttons, he took a ride with me, and I let him listen to it, and he's like, yeah, that's not right. Definitely put it in a service request for that. So I did, and it's really loud and noticeable starting around 40 miles an hour. You can hear it pretty much at all times when accelerating, but when you're going at least 40 miles an hour, oh, you can hear it. It's very prominent, and it's really annoying, and I can only imagine how annoying it is to be sitting in the back. I'll actually let you listen to what this sounds like compared to my Model 3. So take a listen. And I'm gonna have to drive basically 5 hours round trip to get that noise checked out. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I may be without the car. I may have to drop this car off. They may have to have it for a few days. Having to deal with this issue is, disappointing to me, because it's a brand new car. It shouldn't have that. I mean, Anybody who's driven this car should have automatically, right off the bat, heard that sound and be like, that's not right. And this may be the biggest problem with this Model Y, and I've actually seen this online, other people having the same issue. The rear bumper, it's made of plastic compared to the aluminum body. And you can see the paint color is slightly mismatched. This is more of an eggshell finish compared to the pearl white that you can see here on the body. It's definitely different, the paint finish, and some people are saying it's just the way paint finishes on different materials, plastic compared to metal, but some people aren't buying it. If you're paying $60,000 for a car, the paint should match. Okay, so I'm going to actually probably bring this up to Tesla and see what they can do, see what their options are for solving this, because even though it doesn't bother me too much, it's still something that shouldn't be a problem on such a high dollar car. I definitely want to see what Tesla offers me as far as resolving this. Are they going to tell me to go to a third-party collision center or a paint shop or a body repair shop? And that's why I called it the biggest problem, because this could leave me without a car for a while, depending on how they end up fixing this. And it's not just a one-off thing. I've seen it multiple times. Hopefully the paint shop in the Gigafactory in Texas will be better than the one at Fremont. That's what I've heard. Hopefully that's the case. So there you have it. Those were all of my problems. Some more nitpicky and minor than others, but hopefully it gives you just an idea. And don't get me wrong, I love this car. We took delivery of it. We knew we wanted it. Even with some of the problems that we already knew that was wrong with the car during the day of delivery, we said, okay, it doesn't matter. We're taking delivery because we love this car. We knew we were going to keep it. Hopefully we won't see any more problems bigger than this going forward. Hopefully this is it. This is the 2022 Tesla Model Y from Fremont Factory. Full review coming soon for you guys. Stick around for that. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.